Hi, how are you? So, this we skipped a week, and the reason was because we decided to do.
I'm sorry.
My brain not working, bro. I can't breathe. It's allergy season. But
me either. It's raining in the back of my throat.
Man, literally, my brain just feels swollen. But we decided, my dumbass decided to do a liquid fast.
And my dumbass agreed.
I was gonna say I love liquid, so I asked her and Alante, my friend, if they would liquid fast with me because I wanted to do the week before Easter, but after Lent, because there's like a 6-day period in between there. And I'm not super religious. I wouldn't consider myself a Christian or anything like that, but I still think spiritual holidays align with religious holidays a lot of the time, and to me this was an example of like rebirth and refreshing your body and all that good stuff. Any comments?
No. Well, I mean, obviously I identify as Christian because that's the way I was raised, but I do identify more so now as being more spiritual than anything. So I was like, I've never, my whole time growing up as Christian and stuff like that, my grandfather or my mom was very spiritual. My dad was Muslim, so that was different, or Islamic, whatever. Mm-hmm. But they never really enforced like Lent or fasting on us. They thought it was stupid. So it was like, we're not gonna do that.
I would say it definitely can be.
Especially like when you have like health challenges and stuff going on, and if you don't take that into account, you're just like, oh, I'm gonna do this because God says so, then I mean realistically you can end up doing more harm than good. So with a family that had a lot of health challenges and stuff like that was just never something that we were enforced to do. And it was just like, hey, if you believe in God and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, then you don't have to worry about that necessarily. So this was an experience. I like learning new stuff. So my dumbass agreed.
Yeah. And then Alante is, by my definition, religious. So he's attempting to follow the Bible and study its word and all that, yada yada. My cat's curled up like she doesn't want to be a part of the podcast. I think that's great because she was not laying like that a couple minutes ago.
No, she uncovered her eyes and everything.
Got her hands over her face. She's like a little kid. But yeah, so we decided to, without at least Khairah and I have not intentionally fasted before. We didn't actually prepare and eat enough calories beforehand. We didn't have a clear idea of what we were supposed to be doing. We were like, let's figure it the fuck out for 6 days. I think we probably should have done 3. But I think overall, though, everyone was more successful than I had initially expected. Because what I actually told them, I wasn't like, let's do this 6 days, no backing out, blah, blah, blah. I was like, 6 days unless it gets unhealthy. I don't want anybody to have any problems. You know what I'm saying? And
I've had previous health issues before, so I had to be careful about it. And anyway, I was supposed to be careful about it.
Okay.
Because in the past I've had issues where my blood pressure would just drop because I wasn't taking care of myself and I got sick. Mm-hmm. And so if I don't take care of myself, my blood pressure will drop and I will like constantly sleep and I'll wake up and I can't see, like stuff like that. So I was supposed to be really careful.
Yeah. And okay, so I don't know, we didn't really structure out how we were going to do this episode, but I guess we'll just start with Sunday and continue on to midnight of Saturday, which was technically the next Sunday. Mm-hmm.
So I think Sunday that was the day before we started. Mm-hmm. Because what happened is technically we should have started on Sunday, but that was just coming off of Lent.
I was gonna say that was the 40th day of Lent from when we at least started counting.
Yeah. And so at that point we were kind of giving into our cravings for the stuff that we had given up for Lent. Mm-hmm. Me specifically, it was candy. Now I actually didn't eat as much candy as I anticipated. Mm-hmm. I couldn't even eat the whole chocolate bar that I bought. So it had a good, Lent in itself had a good, I guess, outcome to it, because I've never been much of a candy person. Well, no, I was. But anyway, I focused on more so eating the stuff that I denied myself for Lent, that I didn't focus on eating enough actual
like
food.
Nutrition, yeah. And then my dumb ass, I went to a lake and then Port Huron and then came back, had half a bag of hot fries and an apple fritter. And that's all I ate for the entire day, like a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So then the next day, I was like, well, I don't want to start the day off wrong. So and then I also woke up late as hell. So I woke up at 11:30 and had to be at work at 12. And I had no time to drink anything, no time to even like supplementally eat some fruit or something like that. So I'm at work fucking dying. And I had to text Khairah. I was like, Khairah, bro, I'm fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Ended up having to order some soup from Zoop or whatever. But okay, full disclosure, even though I wanted to do this, I didn't look at necessarily how many soups there were that didn't have stuff in it. You know what I mean? And I don't like tomato soup. And that's kind of the only one that everywhere has. So I think it's the loaded potato soup because it was creamy, but it had the least like straight up chunks in it. So I ate all of that while I was at work, and then of course I ate the bread because I am a bread fiend. But that was me still, like, instead of getting like a sandwich or something like super duper solid, I was like, let me at least get some soup. You know what I mean? That'll help me feel better. And then I was like on the verge of passing out because I had absolutely no calories in my body and I was at work. But it ended up working out okay.
Remember when I said be safe about it?
Yeah, that was my idea and still fucked up. But that's how my first day started. It completely unprepared, so then I was a little concerned for how the rest of the week was gonna go, because I was like, am I gonna have to break? You know what I'm saying? That feels way different than like choosing too early or like having a moment of weakness or something. Like, do I medically need to not do this? You know what I'm saying?
And like for me, I guess I'll get to it when I get to the point where I did break. But it was kind of like my pride kept me going for most of it, because I was like, my pride and my determination, because I was like, I can do this, I'm gonna do this. So realistically, the first day was fine for me. It was kind of a struggle because I was used to, going to get, something for breakfast or something like that. I realistically don't. Okay, I do eat a lot, but I eat in small quantities throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh wait, let me say this, Sunday we actually did try to prepare for it, and we went out and bought a whole bunch of like liquid stuff for us to eat.
Yeah, we went to Kroger, we got soups,
that don't have anything in it.
Yeah, like potato leek, butternut squash.
It's disgusting.
We got a broccoli cheddar bone broth
that
thing.
was disgusting too.
They were all terrible ideas, and at this point I think I would try to make more like juice or make my own soup, because I even think like, we'll get into it, we'll go day by day, but I ended up having too much bone broth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't have a lot of bone broth because I didn't particularly care for it. I think I had it maybe 3 times, maybe 4. I ate most of the butternut squash soup reluctantly, but it gave me calories to sustain through the day because I felt better after having it. It was disgusting, but it was something that actually like coated I could feel it coat my stomach type of thing. But going back, Monday was fine. I woke up and I'm like, okay, just liquid all day. That's fine. Luckily I had like a lot of Gatorade, essential water, Bai water and stuff like that, so that ended up working out. And then by the end of the day I actually did try the butternut squash soup. Of course, that's when everybody decided to eat real good food in the house. They got
motherfucking Chipotle the first day of our fast, and like, I know everybody makes jokes about Chipotle and how it makes you shit and stuff like that, but I really like Chipotle. We're a Chipotle household, you know what I'm saying? We even got Khairah hooked, and these niggas hadn't gotten it for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden the day I'm like, you couldn't have done this Sunday?
And usually they do it at the end of the week. This the beginning.
The Monday.
I was like,
Monday night, bro. I was mad as hell.
That, and it was like, and I can't eat none of it. So that was that day. So we ended up having very opposite
Monday of starting days.
Yeah, starting days. Because I actually didn't have an issue where I didn't have to eat anything chunky or anything like that. So
Tuesday, I don't remember Tuesdays clearly. I think I definitely tried to better prepare myself in the morning because I also didn't work on. Oh, I don't remember if we were. No, that's irrelevant. But yeah, I didn't have anything to do on Tuesday. I didn't have to go see my therapist or anything like that. So I woke up early, was drinking Essentia and Gatorade, and then I wanted to try the like actual bone, because we had two different types of bone broth. So we had like a carton thing from Trader Joe's, and then these like stick packets from Kroger.
No,
from Costco.
No, it was the opposite. So the box was from Kroger, and the stick packets were both from Trader Joe's.
Nah, because we had the Trader Joe's brand. I looked it up afterward.
Well, the one that I tried was something that we
might have had like 4 things then.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of bone broth.
I can't say the stick one tasted better.
Really? I was gonna say the opposite. I think that's why I was having issues. So I actually really like the bone broth in general compared to I didn't actually try the butternut squash because Khairah told me how bad it was, and I was like, oh, okay, bet. Yeah, yep, I'll learn from her mistakes. I
can't say she did hook up the bone broth really good, where it was actually something that I was
gonna say, yeah, because the first day I tried it, I was like, okay, this is not as bad as beef bone broth, where that made my body recoil because I already don't really care for beef in the first place. But chicken was kind of like, I want this, or Khairah even said it, I want this to taste like chicken noodle soup, but it just doesn't. So I was like, let me go put a bouillon cube in it. Let me put some actual broth in here. And then that was totally fine. It tasted like a hearty broth. You know what I'm saying? I would absolutely eat a soup with that. Yeah, I would make that moving forward. And then I bought like a thermos. I got a thermos. I'm not gonna clarify any of that, but I got a thermos from Kroger, and so I was like putting it in there because I knew that when I did have to go to work, I think I worked that Wednesday so that Khairah and I could have a girls' day that Friday. So I was like, yeah, I'll need to have something to take warm stuff with me, so I'm not constantly chugging water all day because my body does not process cold liquids as fast. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how Tuesday went. It was actually kind of chill, honestly.
It was chill for me too. Like at that point, I was like, "Oh, I can do this." And
yeah, it felt doable.
And I had literally, my body really started to clean itself out like almost immediately because I went literally all of Monday. See, what happened is when I woke up on Monday, I was like, "Ooh, I can eat the rest of my chocolate candy," and then I was like, "Oh, I can't." So I literally went all of Monday without having anything solid. So by Tuesday, mid-Tuesday, I was peeing every 2 minutes. And then my system literally cleaned itself out completely. I was like, okay.
Yeah, man, and then I got concerned. I mean, like, okay, I already know that I don't have the healthiest, I'm going to call it gut biome. My body does not process things quickly. I should probably get that checked because... Yeah, anyway, but I should probably get that checked. But I was starting to get concerned because my body was not clearing itself out, you know what I'm saying, without going into too much detail, until Wednesday. And Wednesday, I had a terrible day. Like, I'm not going to get into what I was doing in my personal life, but I probably did something that I should not have done on an empty stomach, and I woke up feeling like shit. And then I realized, oh, I didn't eat anything with like, or like consume anything that actually had calories at night. I was only drinking like Gatorade. So I basically went to bed without dinner and did what I was doing and woke up feeling empty as hell, like lightheaded. And I was like, I feel like I'm gonna die. So I had to eat, I had to break. I had 2 chunks of mango and 2 strawberries and then some bone broth. Yeah, and I had to take, like, cause you know, Khairah's my accountability buddy, so I had to at least tell her what's going on.
Thank you. Anyway.
Yeah, so I had to break and I had to eat some fruit, but I was like, I'd rather it be fruit or vegetables than like something like bread or, you know, something that is very, like, strictly unhealthy, you know what I'm saying? So I felt better immediately. The first bite of the chunk of mango I had, because it had been so long since I'd actually eaten, I almost threw up. But I was like, okay, let me drink more of the bone broth mix. Let me like just try and get more calories in my body before I try that. And I still needed to. I got halfway through the bone broth and still didn't feel better. So then I ate the rest of the fruit. And I was like, okay, I can go to work. I feel fine now. You know what I mean? I made more bone broth, put it in my thermos, headed to work. And then I remembered that night to make even more. So I was doing pretty good, all things considered.
And, you know, of course, I like to support and stuff like that. So when she told me that she was feeling like she was passing out and stuff like that, and I was like, we specifically said, you know, if it gets to a point where it's unhealthy, then we have to do what we need to do and don't feel bad about it, you know, because, and then realistically, fruit is a lot of times more water than anything.
I was going to say, I always forget that. Yeah, I learned that in massage.
So it ended up being fine. What happened and what I didn't tell her is that we were texting back and forth and she was like, bro, I'm gonna die. And I was like, shit, me too. Today I woke up and I'm just absolutely hungry. I don't know what the hell happened. I was fine the first 2 days and now it's like, you hungry. And where my stomach was growling no matter what I did. And then it got really bad as the day progressed. My hands started shaking and I couldn't stop. And I even heated up, I think I heated up some of that broccoli bone broth at that point. And had some of the butternut squash soup. And that calmed it down a little bit, but I literally had to sleep it off. And that's the point where I wasn't being safe or healthy about it. And I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, she didn't tell me until the end of the week. And I for selfish reasons, I wish she had, because that could have been a moment of solidarity, you know what I mean? But for health reasons, ma'am, you should probably take care of yourself, specifically because you have issues with lower calories. And it wasn't just like, oh, I feel lightheaded. She literally lost vision for a minute talking about, oh yeah, I thought if I just sat down it would get better. You told me that. You remember? Yes.
Damn.
Yeah. So I wish that she had said that, because if she motherfucking passed out, she works in the room during the day, and most of the time people don't go in there unless they're printing shit off, or like, for the most part, I think I've been going in there a lot lately. I was at work.
I think people would have heard me if I dropped, but if
no, because you would be in the chair.
I would have fell off the chair. Okay. Anyway, no, I end up, if it had gotten worse than that, because I was like, my hands are shaking, but if it calms down, then I'll be fine. So, if it had got worse, I would have said something.
I don't believe you, but okay. It's fine. We made it. And I also forgot on Tuesday, my best friend came to visit, and like, that's a personal thing, so I wasn't considering that as terms of the fast, but we ended up getting some vegetable soup that had way more chunks in it than you would think of vegetable soup, but it was like thick. It was
more
weird.
Like, if anybody knows, it was more like oxtail soup than vegetable soup.
Yeah, I've never had oxtail soup.
It's so good.
Okay.
So, and I think realistically that's probably because what happened is that I was like, well, I'm just gonna put my straw in this, and whatever comes up through the straw, I'm gonna consider that liquid. Now, of course, some of the chunks came out, but I think, and I couldn't even eat the whole thing. I think out of everything, that's probably what messed me up and what probably started the issue with my hands hands starting shaking, because it got like a little bit of that. I don't consider that breaking because it wasn't intentional.
I was gonna say, yeah, that was all we literally ordered soup at a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? I would never do that shit normally. I'm actually not a huge fan of soup, but, well, at least I wasn't. My God. Can you hear my nose getting stopped up?
Yeah.
God.
You're throwing the hair over here and it's making my nose and my throat
I'm sorry,
worse.
I'm trying to throw it away.
She's allergic to her cat.
Yeah, and it's spring, so she's shedding.
She's allergic to her cat that she allows to sleep right next to her.
Hey man, I lint roll my pillow.
And that she had on her chest while she started off this podcast saying that she can't breathe. Yeah.
Allergy season. Can you hand me a lint roller? It's in the middle one.
A few moments later.
I love having a cat. My allergy doctor was like, can you keep her out of your room? And I was like, but no, I love her. I felt like Ariel. My dad always used to make fun of her when she was like, Oh, her dad was like, you can't go to this circus, like that's fucking stupid, blah 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 blah. She's like, but daddy, I love him. Yeah, I feel that way about the cat, but yeah, I can't breathe, so that's a little more dangerous. Anyway, fucking Wednesday.
Well, that was pretty much it for me.
I was gonna say Wednesday wasn't super eventful. Thursday, I felt a lot better about the amount of things I was consuming, but then I think, I don't remember if that was Thursday or Friday, but like the cravings just got intense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The cravings got, actually, they did get super intense. When I tell you,
But was that Thursday or Friday? Because I know
that was Thursday.
That was Thursday.
Because
okay.
I was like, we gotta make 2 more days. Because literally, I started. Okay, anybody that know me knows that I go ahead.
More moments later.
So, yeah, the cravings got really intense. And anybody that knows me knows that I love spicy and hot food.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I was craving hot Cheetos so bad. I think I texted Kaylyn and was like, I want some hot Cheetos.
Wings. Yeah, man, she said hot Cheetos, hot wings. It was like 2 different hot things back and forth throughout the day. It was kind of funny.
Oh my God, it was so bad. She even made a comment. She was like, I wonder how you're gonna be like when you're pregnant, because I love it.
Yeah, man, I think she's gonna ask for a bunch of hot food, then she's gonna throw it up, and then she's gonna cry, and then be like, but can you go get me some more? Yeah, man, it's gonna be so funny to watch.
I definitely anticipate that happening. Lord help whoever my husband is.
Hopefully he can cook, so that way he won't have to keep going out to get stuff, you know what I mean?
Unless I want it.
That's facts, but if it's hot wings, he should be able to make you some hot wings.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yep.
But anyway, so I was craving hot food so bad, and I think Thursday was the day that I ended up having to break because I had told Kaylyn about what happened with my handshaking. And was that Thursday or Friday?
I think that was Friday.
Okay, so Thursday was kind of uneventful. It was just
for us. I didn't talk about it too much because, like, you know, at some point he'll come in and share his own perspective on that. But Alante had to break on Thursday because he had some bread or some shit like that. And I was like, okay, I feel better because I broke the day before. Khairah was like handshaking and shit like that. So then she didn't, even though she didn't share that, we were all having a tough time by day 4. And, you know, none of us were actually prepared for this, so that's to be expected. But it's just, it still feels comforting to know, like, okay, I'm not the only one dealing with this. And it was like, it literally just wanted to chew on stuff, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't like actually hungry for anything. And I kept telling my body, if you want something specific, then you let me know and I'll break with that. But nothing kept coming to mind, you know what I mean? I just wanted to eat.
Yeah, something came to my mind. It was hot Cheetos.
It's all, I was gonna say hot stuff for Khairah.
I wanted it so bad, and specifically hot wings and hot Cheetos. But other than that, I was pretty much fine because I bought gum to chew on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was Alante's idea as far as me getting gum was concerned.
Mm-hmm. And then we also, just disclaimer, we weren't being completely unhealthy. We did buy vitamins to take, and I was taking them at least 2 times a day, which helped a lot. Because again, and that's why I said I was being more careful than, especially, even though I didn't tell you about the handshaking, I knew realistically I was fine because I had been taking my vitamins. And those vitamins I had been taking when I started first having health issues. So, and I just upped the amount that I took them. So, there was that. But anyway, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, no, that was it. I wish we had recorded this last Sunday, like when we were fresh off of it, but nobody felt like it. And then my dumb ass, I stayed up till like 3 in the morning and woke up at like 4 p.m. or some shit like that. It was kind of bad. But yeah, and then also, I think Thursday, now I remember it, I wasn't sleeping that great. There's a lot of other factors in play. Like, I was just spending a lot of time out at night, but even the sleep I was getting didn't feel restful. It just felt necessary, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Well, it makes sense to me because, and I told Kaylyn this, for the past month, I haven't been sleeping that well. And she actually gave me the idea to track my sleep, where I end up realizing that I was only getting like 3 hours of sleep every night. And that was 3 hours of restful sleep at night. Anything beyond that where I was kind of just laying there half asleep. but I was kind of conscious. So then I would be like that until it was time for me to get up for work or just be up.
And that fucking sucks, you know what I mean? And then I just noticed for me that I was waking up and then just laying in bed. Like, I don't remember if that was Wednesday or Thursday, but, like, that's how I knew I felt bad, because I just could not get up. You know what I mean? And I remember feeling like that in high school, because niggas just love sleep, and everybody knows that about me. I like sleep. But this felt different, because as an adult, you know, you can't really, you don't have time to do that kind of shit for real. And like I said, I had to go to work Wednesday and Thursday, so whichever day it was, the fact that I could not force myself to get up was kind of alarming. But yeah, then Friday we took a girls' day. Khairah had just done my hair within the last week, so I wanted to get my eyebrows looking nice. She had to go find a suitcase because we're going on vacation. Woo! Keep an eye out for that. That'll technically be during season 3 of the podcast.
Right.
Yeah. What else? We went and got our toes done. I don't like getting my nails done because the nail polish will just fall right the fuck off anyway, and I'm doing massage, so I can't like get like a acrylic or like a, what is that called when they put shit on top?
Yeah, acrylic.
But the paint is acrylic. That's why I'm confused.
So just nail polish, period?
No, the nail polish is the acrylic. I don't know what the plastic
tips.
Yes.
So the nail tips. When they say acrylic, they call it nail polish. Acrylic, when you refer to acrylic, you're referring to the fake nails that you get put on.
Gotcha. And then see, my art brain is like, no, acrylic's the paint. But yeah, so acrylics, I can't get those because I have massage people and they'll be like, oh, you're pinching me or whatever, scratching me, and I don't feel like dealing with none of that. I keep my actual nails really, really short and bare. And then Khairah doesn't like when people try to shape her nails, so we weren't getting our hands done, long story short. So we got pedicures. That was pretty cool. I got my eyebrows done. Check out my Instagram. I'm very pretty. Hold on,
she is very pretty.
What else? We went and got, because we were gonna get sushi and go out to brunch, but then we both forgot it was gonna fall during our fast, so we're gonna do another girls' day. Probably, I think June would be a good time for that.
Sounds good to me.
Yep, because then it'll technically be April, June, August if we do it like that, because I'm counting my birthday month as, some girl time. Anyway, yeah, man. So we spent the day having a good time. We went and got smoothies. My friend Isaiah introduced us to this place called Smoothie King that's in Royal Oak, and so he introduced us to this place called, or at least me, this place called Smoothie King in Royal Oak. So I wanted to go with Khairah because we can have smoothies. They're liquid, yeah. So we went and got smoothies. I got a multivitamin added to mine because I was not taking 2 a day. But yeah, I think that was pretty successful. That was like lunch, you know what I mean?
It ended up filling us up really like
sustained. Yeah, it was pretty hefty. I think it was like a 32 ounce or something like that. It was something substantial.
It was definitely filling. And that's when she made the bone broth for us, because we end up making because I hadn't tasted the bone broth that she made for work.
With the bouillon.
So she was like, okay, I'll make that. And then we were also going watching anime because we both like anime. So that was part of Girls' Day. And
I made her watch the worst SpongeBob movie I've seen with my own eyes.
We're gonna pretend that never happened.
Nah, because it was so bad. I used to really, really genuinely love SpongeBob when I was younger. So, and like the first movie was one of the best memories I ever had. I was in 5th grade when it came out, and I remember going nuts with everybody on the back of the bus and like singing all the Goofy Goober shits. You know what I mean? It was just really fun.
It was a good movie.
It was a landmark, man. I was gonna say it was a landmark in my life, and even as an adult, I still enjoy watching it. Like, it's not good like it was when I was a kid. You know what I mean? But it's still fun.
Yeah, and the nostalgia makes it better. And like, we should have did that after we watched that piece of shit.
Honestly, we didn't even get all the way through. I think we got a little more than halfway. Yeah, I paid $2 for that. Mm-hmm.
She shouldn't have. She should have requested a refund. Anyway, that happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So that's how we finished Friday, and then.
Wait. Yeah. So for Friday, what happened is so she went down to make the bone broth, and that's when I told her that I was having I had the issue a couple days ago where my hands started shaking, and she looked at me like the face that she's making right now, tight-lipped and everything, and eyes irritated. Because she was like, Khairah, why didn't you say something? I was like, I'm fine. So at that point, she told me it was necessary for me to have at least a couple pieces of fruit.
I was gonna say, because don't eat hot Cheetos, you know what I'm saying? But you need to eat something.
So I had like 4 pieces of mango, like 4 chunks, and it instantly felt better. And it made surviving through the next day a little bit more bearable. But that was that. So we ended up enjoying our girls' day. That was fine. She got temporarily mad at me because I forgot to tell her that my hands were shaking. I just didn't want anybody to worry. And then the pedicure, I hadn't gotten a pedicure since I was in 8th grade. So this was my 2nd pedicure in my life, and I actually enjoyed it, so that was nice. The lady was really confused when I told her to alternate the colors on my toes, but they're all dark colors. I was gonna say,
like, looking at them from the lighting that we're in my room, I can't tell, but like they look really pretty under the
lights.
The manicure lights, the shop lights.
Yeah, and even when you're in the sun, you can see it. So that was really cool, and I enjoyed myself despite not being able to go to brunch.
Yeah. And then Saturday, now at this point everybody's doing the caloric shit their own way or whatever, so we're all at least getting enough calories throughout the day. I think Alante at that point had decided that he was gonna do liquids in the morning and then just try to fast for the rest of the day, because he was only drinking like what are those Bolt House smoothies though. So he was only doing that and like tomato soup and shit like that. You can hear that in the recording. I'm just had to let you know. Yeah, so he was only doing shit like that. Then he was fasting the entire, like, abstaining from anything the entire rest of the day, and not finna do that. That was not my path.
That's more like Muslim. I keep forgetting you can hear it. I didn't know you can hear that.
Yeah, it's because I forgot it. It's in the ADHD. Your scalp itches. She talking about her hair is crusty, bro. And I think it's because your nails are long that it's making. Because like I just scratched my head. I don't think you can hear that as much.
But you can hear this.
Okay, that's fair. So it's because you're going at it on the top. You know what I mean? Anyway, point being, she's talking about her hair crusty.
Well, I just have really curly hair that likes to make noise. Is what I mean. Because
we both have braids right now for context.
Yeah, and my right hand, because my nails broke off, is really short. So, but you can still hear it when I scratch. Mm-hmm. So, anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Back on track. Saturday, man. Alante and I got lucky. We had to go to work. Khairah had to sit here in the house waiting for midnight.
Oh my god, it was
Holy
torture.
Shit.
Okay, so I had some editing to do, and I had a hard time focusing on it because I'm just like, I was like, okay, I need to get out of my room because this is kind of depressing or whatever. So I was like, okay, get out of my room. I'll go downstairs. Nobody's here, so I'll sit in the living room, turn on TV, which I did watch a couple movies, so that was fine. And I got like maybe through 1.5 pages of editing, and I kept wantonly looking,
staring longingly into the kitchen.
Not just at the kitchen, in the dining room where we were planning on having our breakfast. And I was like, oh, just a few more hours. And then I would try to go back to editing, and I would look again. And then I would just keep looking. And then her parents came in, and they made a really good looking Caesar salad.
They went out and grilled shit, bro.
They grilled some chicken for it.
Some shrimp and stuff. And like, Khairah and I don't eat shrimp, but it's the fact that they're out here motherfucking cooking the entire week. Every single day that week they cooked.
And they cooked some good stuff. Now let me tell you, since we've been on thing,
no, in fact, they went back to getting pizza and going out to get food and shit like that again.
And making some of the same stuff they've been making. Now that food still is good, but it's just like the fact
it's repetitive.
It was the fact that they kind of went towards something different, like grilling chicken.
For the entire week, it was something they never made before.
Oh my goodness! And
you're
then,
fucking joking.
Then her mom made a comment. She was like, "Oh, I'm making this whole food right in front of you. You can't have anything." Yeah, it's fine. Because they were talking, and her parents like to talk, and I don't mind listening, but smacking as they're eating this Caesar salad with the dressing and the chicken and the shrimp, and I was like, oh my god. And then I just kept looking back at the table. And then so I kind of tortured myself through that, and then I decided I need to go upstairs and just sleep off the rest of the day, so I don't, or at least just be in my room isolated, so I don't keep looking at the table and making myself hungry. So that's what I did.
Yeah, man. And like I said, I got lucky. I had to go to work, and I do massage, so like I could not just sit down and think about it, you know what I mean? But then I had to set an alarm, because I was like, I know as soon as I get home, I'm gonna want to start preparing stuff for our little feast or whatever. But because we're only making like vegetables and fruit, it's not gonna take that long. And so I had initially set my alarm for like an hour and a half before midnight, and I was like, no, that's probably too much. I'll do an hour. That was still too much. Bruh, we didn't even do much. Like, Khairah, I don't know, I'm not very strong. So I had Khairah cut up some watermelon. She washed the fruit and stuff for me because she's so nice. I steamed some broccoli. And then
with some cheese.
I was gonna say, Khairah had the idea to put cheese on it. I've never done that because I grew up allergic to dairy products. But like, we put,
and she put spicy cheese.
Havarti, bro. Havarti on steamed broccoli.
Was it Havarti?
Yes.
No, I thought it was pepper jack.
No, they didn't have pepper jack. Come here. Come on. Up. Yep, there you go. Alright, but yeah, so it was Havarti because they didn't have any pepper jack, and I only like spicy cheeses for real, like smoked cheese. So Khairah got some smoked cheddar, we got Havarti, she got a cheese slicer.
So good.
Yeah, man, I asked everybody what their favorite fruit was. Khairah wanted strawberries, I like raspberries, Alante wanted watermelon, which I just happen to have anyway, because I was going to put it in some water, and then that just didn't end up happening.
And we had watermelon with a little bit of salt on it. Oh my god.
Because Khairah's Southern, we had a whole conversation about that. But yeah, man, so we were done with damn near everything at like 11:30 and just sat there. And then I was like, you know, we should play Uno.
Right.
So we played, I think, 2.5 rounds of Uno. We had dealt the cards for the last round and had just started. And I was like, all right, fuck it. And then we finally were able to eat.
Yeah.
Alante, because he's religious, did his communion prayer or whatever. And he, you know, because we're all respectful of each other, he didn't ask us to do it with him. We sat in silence while he did that for the most part.
And then what else did we do?
Niggas loaded their plates up.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot he brought some pineapple that was really good. And I bought a whole box of mixed hot chips.
Yeah, man.
I ate the whole box.
I was gonna say, everybody had their cravings, bro. I had some croutons and I low-key didn't eat them until today.
Well, yeah. I made sure the hot Cheetos was my dessert. So, and I made that clear. Now, I didn't eat the whole box like that day or, you know, that morning, whatever. I had like one bag before I had to go to sleep. But I took 2 bags with me just in case I wanted some more before I actually went to bed. But I actually didn't. And then I told everybody to raid and get whatever they wanted. And long story short, there's only 1 bag left and it's been a week.
Exactly a week, honestly, yeah, man. So that should have told you how this week went. She finally she went and got hot wings and stuff like that. Because like I said, I slept almost all, well, I had some personal stuff. Khairah went to bed a little before I did, I think. So I just ended up staying up later anyway. But then, yeah, I stayed up until like 4 in the morning, slept till 3. And then we all got up and we were like, all right, let's go get some food. And then nothing was open because it was Easter.
So what happened is that me and Kaylyn already planned that I wanted hot wings, and because I kept saying it, I made her want them. So then we decided that we were looking at the times and stuff. We were like, oh, it's Easter, so some of these places may be closing early. So we both decided that I was gonna go get some of the stuff when I woke up, because I wake up early no matter what time I go to sleep, because I went to sleep at maybe 1, 2 o'clock, and I was back up by like 7:30. And so, and I was probably up before then too. But anyway, I went and got some hot wings, got us both separate orders of hot wings, and then we both wanted pie/cheesecake. I realistically should have got cheesecake instead. I want some of that today.
You can have some of the slices in there. I haven't touched that at all. I just haven't had much of an appetite after that. You know what I mean? Like, literally not eating for a full week. I'm like, yeah, I get hungry, but I don't feel like eating, you know?
That's fair. I will blame it on, because I haven't had the same appetite that I had before I started to fast. I will say that. But TMI, am close to coming on my cycle, and I get really, really, really bad cravings during that time, like the week or 2 weeks before. So I picked the wrong time to do it fast, and it was just really, really bad. And so that's really the reason I'm eating so many sweets and stuff now. But I can guarantee you that by next week I won't be able to eat anything. But anyway, so I went and got us cheesecake, or her slice of cheesecake. I got me a slice of pie that ended up being disgusting, and hot wings that took me a couple days to eat, actually. I thought I was going to eat the whole thing in one day. It did not happen.
I was going to say, it took me 3 days because I only wanted like a few at a time, you know. Yeah.
Well, I didn't want a few at a time. I wanted to eat the whole thing that one day, but my stomach just couldn't handle like all of that
eating. Yeah.
So I literally probably I ordered 12 wings for each of us. I had like 4 the first day.
I think I had 4 a day, or not a day, but like each time I ate them, it was 4.
Yeah.
And then the last day, I was only able to eat 3 of them, and I didn't have to throw them away.
That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate, but they were also drumsticks. I'm more of a flats kind of guy.
Wing sticks better.
Yeah, man. Who doesn't love smacking on the flat? And then I learned in middle school how to take the bone out. I haven't done that in a while, but that's a great idea. Yeah. And then just in general, she walked on the pillow I sleep on. Excellent. Just in general though, like the week after, I still have been having issues clearing my system out. Oh, I forgot. I didn't, huge TMI or whatever, but I had a rough time systematically on Wednesday after eating, because for whatever reason my body only clears itself out after I've eaten again. So if I don't eat, it's like nothing is gonna happen, you know what I mean? So then Wednesday, everything from the week before, or like, from the last time I ate, came out all at once because of the fruit. But then I don't know what's going on post that, but not clearing properly, just leaving it as still not happening.
See, mine kind of went the opposite way. I wasn't really having, I wouldn't say a hard time clearing this stuff out, but I don't think I was going to the bathroom as often as I felt that I should have. And which is concerning, because I had a great grandmother who died from her system backing up. And so we have to be careful of that. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to the bathroom as often. But after the fast, I even noticed it yesterday, because at first I thought it was because I had hot foods. It doesn't burn or anything like that, like, cause some people have issues with it burning, or whatnot. I don't have that issue, but it does. When you eat charcoal, or not charcoal, but like charred food, that actually does clean your system, as well as hot foods. And I learned the charred thing is because I like some of my stuff a little crispy on the edges.
Yeah, man.
And I end up finding out a lot of people, when they have barbecue, they don't realize it. When you cook with charcoal, when that gets into the food, that actually makes you go to the bathroom. And a lot of people say when you go to barbecues and stuff like that, and you have barbecue food, they always go to the bathroom, and that's the reason why. It actually is a natural cleanser.
I never knew that. Wild.
The things you know.
The more you know.
Right.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And so I thought that was really cool, and I kind of leaned more heavy into liking stuff that had charged. I always like the taste of it, because I feel like it, gives it a little spice or whatever. But even liking it even more after learning that it does actually help your system. And because I had leaned heavy in having foods right after, then I was like, well, maybe that's the reason that my system is cleansing up. So there was a couple days where I didn't have any spicy food, and I was going to the bathroom right after I ate, which made me hungry.
I was gonna say, yeah, I bet, but like now I feel, you know, while we're on the TMI, I feel like I don't have any space to be hungry because I'm not clearing out. You know what I mean?
Anyway.
Yeah. Ooh, this is gonna be a short episode.
That's okay. Sometimes there needs to be short episodes. We do have some really extensive ones.
True. They were getting up to like an hour and a half at one point. Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like I wish we'd had more to talk about. Now I'll throw this in. I went to work. I work at Equinox Luxury Gym on Mondays. And one of my coworkers there, I told her that we had just finished the liquid fast. She was like, oh, no kidding, I'm fasting right now. And I was like, okay, well, how do you typically do it? Because she does it regularly. And she does no solid foods from 7 to 7. And I thought that was fascinating, unless she has like something where she feels like she specifically needs to use her intellect. And I was like, okay, that's a good idea, because I do want to do this again next year. Probably not at all to the extent that we did it to this year. But if I, like... If we did a 7 to 7 type thing, then that's like intermittent fasting, right? So then we could do only liquids during the day, still smoothies, ice cream. We forgot to mention the ice cream.
Yeah. Well, not actual ice cream, because I actually can't have that.
Yeah, neither of us can have like dairy ice cream, so we got sorbet.
I wanted to break and get some ice cream, but Kaylyn guilted me.
Yeah, also, I think that ended up working out well, because at least for me, all of my allergies started flaring up literally two days after we finished the fast. So if I'd had any dairy in my system, or if you did, it probably would have been bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because honestly, that was the reason I stopped eating ice cream. It wasn't that like it doesn't do to me. Damn it. It doesn't do to me the things that like milk does. Milk actually makes me feel sick. And I will go straight to the bathroom. But ice cream didn't do that, but it does make my mucus thicker, and eventually it does back me up a little bit. So my mucus was getting really, really bad, and I didn't realize that I had allergies until last year. I just thought that I was getting sick, but the mucus is building up now, and I can, oh my god, it's annoying. But it's not as thick as it was when I was eating ice cream, because I was like, well, if I eat ice cream, it might freeze it up a little bit, or I was just enjoying eating ice cream. So although I miss butter pecan and black walnut ice cream, realistically, I'm better off without it. And I do like the mango sorbet that I get.
Yeah, man. I can't relate to part of that at all. I've never been able to eat actual ice cream. And when I do try, my body is like, you're gonna die. And it's a very peaceful you're gonna die. You know what I mean? But then that's how I'm like, okay, I probably shouldn't do that again. But yeah, so I feel like if we do this next year, I'm for sure gonna do it next year. I might not ask other people to do it with me. Or like if they do, we'll discuss when the time gets closer, but this is something I'm for sure gonna do next year. I don't want to do liquids the entire day, because at night I will forget to get enough calories in. I want to make sure I talk to a nutritionist first, or at least get like my TMI, I guess. We were watching Unis Honest in October, last year, and one of the videos they did, they sent in stool samples to get tested to see like what their body was having the most issues breaking down, what foods they should most likely eat, and blah 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 blah. So I might do something like that so that I make sure I'm getting the correct type of calories, because maybe I'm not supposed to eat I can't break down corn as well as some other people, so I should probably avoid eating corn during that time. Shit like that. It's actually part of the elimination diet, which is something I've also been excited to try. I feel like I don't have to wait until I live on my own so that I can make sure that people are not cooking Caesar salads or buying Chipotle when I'm trying to do this, because I will break. But I want to figure out what is healthiest for my body to eat before I do something like this again, so that I'm not putting myself in danger.
That's fair. And yes. had decided, and the funny thing is we both came to the same conclusion somewhat at the same time, and we kind of expressed it to each other at the same time. I was like, you know what, if I do this again, and I have no problem with doing it again, it definitely won't be for a full week. I can't do that. Probably max 3 or 4 days. And but it won't be where I'm just liquid. If I do just complete liquid and nothing else, then that'll be 2 days. But if I plan to do like 4-day type of thing, then I can have solid foods at night, but but it will be limited foods of what I can have, because there's no point in me, doing that and then just loading up on like greasy stuff.
I was gonna say greasy stuff, no sugar. I'm gonna personally have to cut back on bread, all the good stuff.
Okay, here's one thing. One of the reasons that we're best friends is we both relate on loving bread. Bread is my thing. Bread has always been my thing. I would eat my mom out of a house and home with bread. She would have to buy bread almost every day because I ate it all. Like, they would buy me my own loaf of Italian or French bread. I was gonna say, are you just eating white bread? That would be way different. Nah, man, yeah, I definitely. Some French bread. I would eat some white bread if I didn't have any other option, because I love bread. Mostly wheat, though. But especially with some butter and some sugar, toasted in the convection oven. Oh my God, it's so good. Anyway, but I will also, my mom and my grandfather would buy me my own loaf of Italian bread or French bread. And we had this bakery that was near my house when we were growing up called Nuisance, and they would have day-old bread because they made their bread new every day, and you can get it for like 99 cents. So we would buy a couple of those, and it was understood that one was completely mine and the other one was for the household. But if I had to dip into that one, I was not allowed to eat it all. I always dipped into it because I ate bread so much. But that was that. Yeah. Fun fact.
Alright. But yeah, so keep an eye out, I guess. If we're still doing the podcast, we'll definitely make another episode. One thing that I do want to kind of shout out, and I hope, because the only person I know that actually listens to the full episode, or the only 2 people, are both spiritual people. So I'm going to ask you guys to help us manifest. We're trying to get an apartment. We're looking for something with 3 bedrooms, 1.5 to 2 bathrooms, just so that niggas don't have to share or wait or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But we're putting that energy out there. So hopefully by the time we get to do our fast next year, we have complete control over all of the food that's going to be in the house. And not this house. I love my parents, but I hate being here. I hate that I had to go clean. And Khairah, we forgot to mention the freaking mini fridge, bro. We spent about an hour cleaning the mini fridge, like bleaching it, waiting for it to dry, moving it upstairs, all that, yada yada, so that we could make sure no one else was going to be drinking our stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to go that far, especially if I'm living with both of the people that would fast with me anyway. You know what I'm saying? So fingers crossed, I want that to happen. I don't want to end the year where I started it.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything else to say. This is going to be hella short because there's so much stuff that I have to cut out, between cat noises, me blowing my nose and shit like that. But thanks for listening, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, we give them a little break sometimes because, listening to an hour and a half can be exhausting.
True, but again, we're still appreciative. One of the episodes we were going to drop a while ago, we had a bunch of shameless plugs in there that we needed to get done, and because I'm probably not going to finish that episode anytime soon, I just wanted to shameless plug Blue. Yeah, shout out JrocBlue on Instagram. We're going to plug some of his pages. He's also got a new merch line that's dropping. Shameless plug, I'm going to use his rap name, CJ Brown for making the new beat for our ad segment so that we don't get copyright claimed on YouTube.
Yay!
Woo, woo. And then final shameless plug, KHALFANI CAHN. Please go check out the lyric video for 32 CAHNs and keep an eye out for the KMS video.
Nice.
Yep, so those are our shameless plugs for the week. I want to actually start doing other people as our plugs instead of just us and people that we kind of know. So if there's anything that you want to support or want us to support, just DM us.
Yeah, I am on Instagram regularly, so
I'm on Twitter very often. So yeah, pick a platform and we'll be there. Speaking of which, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Kaylyn was here _
and I'm Khairah is _here on both Twitter and Instagram.
Yep, and then our joint page on Twitter is K_and_Kai.
And Instagram is K_and_Kai.
Alright, yeah, so again, if you don't know how to spell either of our names, that's on you. They're in the title of the episode.
And also, well, yeah, that's the description below. So, with that being said, Khairah is here.
Kaylyn was here.
And
thanks for listening.
Bye!
Bye!